There's tons of people here. Hi, guys. Haha. Absolutely. I haven't seen that movie yet. Did you like it? So you went on an Easter egg hunt instead of actually watching the movie? Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, actually, I've heard that. I've heard that for older people, the nostalgia is there and it's great, but then they put in a lot of newer memes and stuff like that, and it just kind of seemed like it was too in your face, and that kind of detracted from the movie also. So I don't know. I'm gonna read the book before I watch the movie. I typically do that. So yeah, I'm okay with that though, because I typically like the books better. So except for like I don't know. I don't know if I should say this. It's kind of a guilty pleasure, but the Twilight series, I fucking hated the books. I really did. But I like the movies. So the first book was really, really good. And I thought it was like setting it up to be a really great series. But as the series progressed, Jacob got way too rapey. Her dad, as a cop, was way too okay with that. And Edward was just an asshole. So, yeah. No, no, it didn't. He was very pushy, even when she was very adamant, no, stay away multiple times. And it was borderline rapey. It really was. I wouldn't. Oh my god, I think they can't hear you at all. I think they're only hearing me. I'm so sorry. Well, I hope you enjoyed the one woman show.
Yeah. Okay, wait a minute.
He's trying to fix it, guys. Just hold up.
How does this sound? Do you guys hear me now?
Can you hear him now? Okay, I got one that says there you are. Two, three,
Wow.
four. Awesome.
How you know what? And now all of a sudden, all these messages are popping up in my chat saying they can only hear Nyx.
Yeah, it was a little slow.
Wow. Sorry about that, guys. As you can see, I've been away for quite a while from the streaming game, and I didn't see the. Well, I guess maybe since I unplugged my mic before, it wasn't registered with my streaming device or my streaming software. So there, there that goes, and hopefully that never happens ever again. So I guess we can solve the mystery of whose giggle was so haunting. I guess that would be you, Nix.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right, so since I've been talking for like 10 minutes, I don't even know where to start. Let's see here.
I'm sorry.
See, it's. I really thought someone could hear my voice because nobody was saying anything at first, and people were actually talking about my voice.
Yeah,
And
there
now
was.
here we
And
go.
there was only like a couple of people that were like, I can't hear you. And typically, they just need to refresh. And then all of a sudden, it was just everybody, we can't hear you. So,
Yeah, that's
oof.
weird. Okay, well, whoever's still around, thank you guys for sticking around and working with us through these technical difficulties. All right, let's see here. If you're still here, please say something in the chat to let me know that you are willing to stick it out through thick and thin. And then I'll try to recap what I said before when I thought that everyone could hear me.
Oh my god. And then talking about Twilight, that must have sounded so awful.
Yes. Well, I'm kind of glad that no one heard me talking about Twilight in retrospect.
Oh, I
Okay.
heard it.
Yeah. Well, it's not online forever, so I'm good. All right, let's see. Dr. Blue. Mending Wall. Brooklyn Masters, because you probably didn't hear me the first time. Haley B. Tom Keithley. Element 115. Clever One. Famine 52. And Ambar Chavez. Cancioneros. Spanish Rhymes. That looks familiar. Cindy S. Shane Barber. Palm Desert Boy. Greetings, my friends. Protagonist, Danny Alvarez Tarico. Greetings. The future Hokage, that's a bold claim. Maria Teresa. Anyone who I didn't see before or didn't greet yet, my apologies. I might have greeted you earlier when you couldn't hear me, and I try to greet everybody as they come in. Low Lightning. Greetings, my friend. All right, so back to the task at hand. What I wanted to do today was go back over some of my old school scripts that I wrote describing some of my dreams, which were like my first videos I did on this channel. But as I said earlier, when no one could hear me, in the meantime, I figured I'd open up the floor for you guys to suggest whatever you wanted to talk about, and so we could kind of catch up for a few minutes. And I know I've been kind of out of the spotlight for a while and not really having the time to interact with you guys as much. I had like probably a couple hundred comments that I've been trying to get to little by little over the past few days because I just simply haven't had the time to keep up with all that, and has to do with a promotion that I recently took at work. And this feels so weird because I talked about all this stuff like 5 minutes ago. Scarlet Witch, Ghost Mummy, my dear friend, greetings. Ricardo Grega, greetings. All right, so you guys let me know in the chat. I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. Nix is going to be keeping an eye on it. And, oh my gosh, I just realized how weird that was for them, everybody who was watching at the time, when I didn't know you guys couldn't hear me. So I was saying, hey, Nix, can you please say something? And then you said, hello, everyone. But to them, all they heard was you. So it must have been super awkward. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know, just thinking about what that must have been like for everyone. That's terrible. That's my mistake. I hope that never happens again. And sorry about that again, guys. Jerry Stevens, greetings, my friend. Okay, so seriously now, I am highly disturbed by everything's going through my head as far as what just happened in the minds of everyone else. So I'm going to try to get over that. Might take me a second. Brooklyn Masters, I knew you would be one of the ones that stuck through all that silliness, and I appreciate you for that. As one of my oldest and most faithful subscribers and dreamers, I would expect nothing less from someone of your status. Ricardo, I wouldn't call it funny. I would call it mortifying, to use a fancy word.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, you do seem pretty tickled by it, Nix, and I'm glad someone is getting. You see, I'll probably be kicking myself about this for the next 13 and a half years, because that's just how my brain works. But you know, I'm glad we survived it. We made it. That's a good idea, Famine 52. But you know, I'm gonna need you to pay me 25 cents every time somebody clicks on one of your videos if you name your channel after me. Just royalties and such. I'm joking. All right. Okay, so you guys let me know what you've been up to and how you've been doing lately since we've been away for so long. I'm genuinely curious. I want to know what's going on with you guys. And we'll start with you, Nix, since we actually haven't spoken very often in this intervening time. How have you been? What have you been up to?
I'm fine. Not a whole lot. I don't do a whole lot. Let's see. I'm planning for another trip to Branson soon. I just got my tent. I got a new tent. I'm so happy.
Oh, nice. For camping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on sale. I got it for it was under $100. I think after shipping it was just over $100. But it's really nice. I like it. It's a lot bigger than my last one. So, yeah.
Good. You know what? Are you really well versed in the use of tents?
No.
Okay. I need a tent expert, because I have a problem with my tent. And I don't know how to solve it. I have this tent. It's kind of like a pop-up tent. And when I use it, basically there's so much condensation. Maybe it's just because I'm in Florida and I'm an idiot for trying to use a tent anywhere outside in Florida because it's so humid, but it basically rains in the tent.
Yeah.
It's really bad. And it takes a few days for it to dry out. It's a pain in the butt.
Have you tried beeswax?
Beeswax?
Yeah.
Rubbing it on
sticks,
somewhere?
Yeah. Sticks of beeswax, and you just rub it all over the tent on the outside. And see if that helps.
That's interesting, but I don't even think I'd rather just never use the tent than have to do that. Honestly, that seems really involved.
It's messy. I mean, honestly, but
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I've read about ultralight hikers and really long excursion hiking, 6 months plus, they always say to rainproof, waterproof your tent or whatever to help condensation, beeswax. So I don't know.
Well, if I ever really need it,
I gotta kill this cat.
Please don't do that. All right, Tariko, you said you thought of sending some dreams in an email, but I hadn't done a dream in a while, so you didn't figure it was a good idea. It's I'll eventually get to pretty much every email, hopefully. I have a bunch of them that are just waiting in my inbox because haven't had time to look at them, but I typically don't do dream videos, but I am going to be doing kind of a redux series of my own dreams that I because I'm familiar with them and I kind of have an idea of the meaning and stuff like that. So, it's just a little bit more difficult dealing with other people's dreams unless it's something along the lines of like a prophetic dream or something that predicted something else. It's got to have some kind of extra element to it rather than just, hey, this was a crazy dream that someone had, because honestly don't really have the same connection with other people's dreams than my own dreams, obviously. And I find true paranormal stories and things like that a little bit more eye-catching as far as the channel goes. But if you send me a story about a dream, I will eventually read it. And if it's fantastic, I might put it on the channel. You never know. I hope you didn't actually kill that cat. I'm
No,
sure you
he's
didn't.
my baby. But when he gets, I don't know, annoyed or he wants something and I don't get up and actually go get it for him, he'll start knocking stuff off of tables and dressers and whatever. So instead of you guys hearing that, I just threw him outside.
Wow. Sounds like a real charmer.
He's my baby. He's my
Oh,
baby.
there's just no reasoning with cat people, is there?
No.
No matter how much your cat hates you, you'll still be caught in his web.
He actually loves me like a lot. He's this is really weird. I'm gonna sound like the crazy cat lady, but when he was a baby, he used to like to get up really high onto my shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
and as he got older and heavier and bigger, he didn't realize he couldn't really do that anymore. So he actually like perches on my shoulder, and I can walk around the house with him like that.
You know why? That's because he doesn't care if you're comfortable or not.
No, he
that
just
is
loves me.
that is true. He likes doing that, and he could really not care less how you feel about it. Even if he's a big giant oaf on your shoulder that you have to worry about him falling off.
No, he doesn't fall
It's
off,
okay
believe
though.
me.
It's okay.
No, he's my baby. Shut
I'm
up.
not I'm not here to judge cat ladies. I'm here to put people to sleep with my voice. That is the task at hand. And why are my videos running out all the time now? All right, there we go. There's a video that's working. All right, let's see here. Tigra Renee, greetings. I think I missed a few. I'm having a feeling that I might be getting some lag or something because these comments are jumping around like crazy. Mending Wall says she is busy as hell.
Doing what?
I wonder the same thing. Mending Wall, if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure I do, is a practicing witch. So I hope what she's been busy with is something interesting. 97 Scarlet Witch, greetings. If you didn't hear me say greetings before. Dr. Blue, I'm happy I can finally make it to one of your streams and can stay happy to be here with the dreamers. LOL, I'm lame. I listen to all your streams even though I can't make it live. That, my friend, makes you the MVP. That does not make you lame. I always like hearing people listening to the streams, just putting them on the, you're folding laundry or on a drive or doing anything mundane, having something like this that's kind of entertaining to listen to in the background. I like being that person. I like being that guy and who can give you something like that on a day where it would have been kind of boring. Leah Love, greetings. You were eating, were you? Well, that's very important. I advocate consuming nutrients. So no worries there. And by the way, thank you guys for giving me a little bit of backup and encouragement as far as me being embarrassed with the silliness earlier. I appreciate that. Cindy S says I should move to Georgia. You know, one of these days I just might. I have a lot of family in Georgia and a few friends as well. I can't stand Atlanta. I had to go there a couple weeks ago and for the like fifth time, and I don't like it at all. So I don't know. We'll see. Gonna try
I
to
always wanted to go to Savannah.
Savannah. I think I've been there once when I was in a training academy of some sort,
Was it nice?
and I don't remember anything about it.
Oh,
So it
that's
must
not.
not have been that good. Hmm.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. I want the rural kind of forget it. I don't want city at all. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. I mean, from what I've heard, it seems like it's kind of a city. It's not like Atlanta, but
yeah.
it's kind of a city environment up there, as far as I've heard.
Well,
I don't
I
know
don't know. I
though.
thought it was kind of more like Tulsa. See, here we do have like a really nice downtown area, and then the rest of it is drive 20 minutes in any direction and you're out in the sticks. So,
Hmm.
I like that.
Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, I like the sticks as long as it's an interesting place, like the sticks in Virginia or something, that's got woods and mountains and greenery and things like that. That's the
Yeah.
kind of sticks I like. I mean, if it's just some boggy backwoods type place where you wouldn't want to be found there, after hours or something like that, or you wouldn't if you. I don't want to go. I wouldn't want to place a type of sticks where people might be found in 5 gallon drums
Oh my God.
anywhere. You know what I mean? That's the kind of sticks that I like to avoid. Because I don't have time for that level of drama. Mending Wall asks, well, Brooklyn Masters said, can you make your mic a little bit louder, Nix?
Am I low? Like still?
It sounds good to me. Maybe if you just a tad louder, maybe that'll help out everyone else.
Okay.
Just a little bump. Mending Wall asks, have I ever had a prophetic dream? None come to mind, but I would have to think about that. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I haven't. No, I don't think so.
I haven't had
And
a dream, but I had a very strong pull to my great grandmother the day before she died. And I wish I would have listened to it because I didn't. And then at that point, I hadn't seen her in over a month. So,
oh, and that was the last time you'd seen her.
yeah.
So what was the dream? Do you remember, or was it
Well, it wasn't
like
really a dream.
a
It was,
feeling?
I was having to do some things. So I was going back and forth in between Tulsa and Claremore, which is about a 30-minute drive. And she lives in Claremore or lived in Claremore. And every time I would go past her house, it was just, I mean, I would almost get the urge to just like pull over or just go straight to her house. But, I was busy running errands and stuff, and I just thought I didn't have the time. And I passed her house maybe 4 or 5 times that day. And each time it just got stronger and almost to the point where I was feeling sick about it.
Hmm.
And I just didn't stop, didn't pull over, didn't stop in, nothing. And the next day, my Nana called and said, Grandma's passed away. So definitely listen to your gut.
Your Nana called?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I thought Nana and Grandma are the same thing.
Not for me. Nana is my
Aunt?
grandma. Yeah. No, my
Oh,
grandma.
all right. I'm
My
sorry. I'm
mother's
just gonna let
mom.
you talk.
Nana is my mother's mom, and my grandma would be my great grandma. So, but
What?
It was a little weird because I wasn't really raised by my mom. So it just kind of got convoluted. It was like my nana was my mom, and then of course her mom would be grandma. So
Oh, okay. Well, that's a unique situation, I guess. So
yeah.
I guess you can be forgiven for that extremely bizarre. I've never heard anyone call their great grandmother grandma.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
just the way it happened.
I feel like we had this conversation once before, and I just spaced out and totally forgot about it until after you told me the whole thing again. Hmm.
Probably. I don't
Yeah,
know. We talk about a
I'm
lot.
pretty sure this came up before, but so I'm sorry if I forgot that. Soul of Kratos. You said you've got. Well, first of all, greetings, because I haven't seen you there. You said you've got two interesting dreams you might email me in the future. Well, if you don't remember it now, then you probably won't remember it in the future. Um, Best to write dreams down as soon as you wake up so that you can retain as much detail as possible. Just jot it all down, and then later you can kind of ruminate on it, and hopefully more stuff will come out. Araceli, is that how you pronounce that? Araceli? Rosio, greetings. All right. Okay, I can see that I'm way behind in the stream chat right now. Master Panda, I'm not awesome, my friend. You're the one who's awesome. Janet, Dimicelli. I'm having such a hard time with names tonight. Hello there. Greetings, Janet. Sinister Potato, an old friend. Greetings. I complete the experience of you getting high. That's interesting. I hope it's not anything that is going to damage your body physically. That's just my personal, word of advice. Don't get high on anything that will actually damage your cells in during my streams, please, because I'd hate to be a factor in that. I can't imagine that I would help you in any way while no, forget that. I'm not talking about that anymore. Teresa Jones, greetings. Sen Kin, hello there, my friend. Okay, hold on there. Ambar Chavez, I live in a rural area where you may wake up to horses parked behind your car when you're trying to leave for work. That is intense. I don't, yeah, I've never been that close to a horse that wasn't completely controlled by the person that was showing me the horse. So, and I know that probably sounds weird. I mean, the only time I remember being within spitting distance of a horse was when I was a kid. My parents took me to a farm and they knew the guy who owned it and he had a horse. And that thing was freaking huge. And I wouldn't want to just walk up to my car and there's a freaking horse there that I don't know. And it's just there by itself. I don't know what I would do in that situation. That'd probably be pretty scary to me. Yeah, I don't like that idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty apprehensive around horses. I don't trust anything that outweighs me by hundreds of pounds and has an attitude. It just doesn't
Yeah,
work.
or has the ability to kick you in half. That's another deal breaker for me. Okay, woke up a day after grandmother died, having a strong feeling that someone... That's such a strange thing. I was talking to my younger sister about... Actually, kind of about the afterlife and ghosts and things like that. And... Actually, this might be a good tangent to go on, and I'm sure everybody will have something to add or take away from with this. When we were talking about ghosts and how, whether we believe in ghosts and how we think that would make sense. and this is the way I think about ghosts. I don't necessarily believe that like a human spirit or a human mind is trapped on this plane of existence necessarily. The way that I have kind of come to think about it is that the consciousness of human beings, or it's like it's connected as though it's a part of a fabric, right? Say a loose fabric that's just kind of all woven together. And if someone dies peacefully, that's like a little one of those threads just kind of gently being pulled out. But if someone dies in a state of distress, really, really violently or really tragically, that's more of a tear. It's like it leaves behind a fraying of that fabric. And I think that's the fraying of that fabric of human consciousness is what we can kind of detect. So, particularly, I mean, anyone who's kind of in tune with that fabric, the connective threads between what I believe all human consciousness, we can see and hear sometimes that the effects of someone being torn away, and it's almost like it leaves echoes in it, or it leaves some type of influence in that collective consciousness that we perceive as paranormal activity, or apparitions, or ghosts, or whatever you want to call it. So it's kind of a departure from the idea of, a lost soul, or someone's soul and body, or someone's soul and mind are just adrift on our plane, almost erroneously or something like that. It's the after effect. What we're seeing and experiencing is more like the after effect of the fraying of that portion of the fabric, to use that analogy. I wanted to know what anyone else thought about that. Do you know what I mean with that, or do I need to explain it better, Nix?
To be honest, I was only half listening. I was going through the comments.
Okay.
No, I got the gist of it. Honestly, I don't know. I have no idea how to classify what a spirit or any kind of an entity like that might actually be, especially when it comes to like a human soul or imprint that's in the environment. Which is kind of why I've been so interested in the paranormal, is because that is like a big question. What is this? Why does this happen? Is it our perception? Is it actually there? Or, just all these different questions. And then, of course, if you throw in the whole elemental or kind of like a nature or even angelic or demonic type thing, depending on your religion, I mean, that opens up even more questions about whether or not it is truly our perception, whether or not it's another dimension, or I don't know. That's why we're all here, right? Trying to figure all this out.
Yep, it's always nice to bounce things off one another and stuff like that. That's always good. Hold on a second there. Okay, Tom, I'm glad to hear it's only the green stuff. That's good. That's better than any other color of stuff. Roz Cocoon, greetings. Even though I think you said you were going over to Let's Read because he's better than me. Let's Read is actually one of my oldest YouTube friends. There's that weird noise coming from my throat again. Parallel universe. Let's see. Sinister Potato says, screw Let's Read. Mr. X is streaming priorities first. That's why I'm here. I appreciate your support, Potato, and no need to badmouth my homeboy Let's Read over there. He's doing his thing. He's got about 10 times the audience right now than I do, but that's cool. He's well deserved of that. He puts in a lot more work into YouTube than I ever could with my job and everything. So, I remember back in the day when I first did a collab with Let's Read, he had 35,000 subscribers. And now he's got over 300,000, which is awesome. Got nothing but love for that guy. He features me every so often as well, which, he doesn't have to, so he's a good dude.
I have a suggestion for Tom Keithley. He wishes he had better control over his dreams. What I found out is if you're trying to change your dream in some way while you're in it, or if you just want to dream about some certain thing, as you go to bed and you're lying there and everything, actually play out the dream, like the scenario that you would prefer, and just keep doing that until you can actually start dreaming of that, whatever it happens to be. And pretty soon you'll be able to, affect your dream however you want while you're dreaming. It just takes time and practice. I used to be able to do it when I was younger. Not so much now.
I've tried that so many times, but I've never been able to consistently remember to do it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess maybe because there have been so many times where I could do it naturally that eventually I'm just like, okay, it'll happen when it happens, because it does sometimes happen. I've been able to change the entire world of the dream that I was in several times. I've been able to come back from death, change, create things, create people, create environments, all kinds of crazy stuff. But back in the days when I used to go overseas to Afghanistan, and I had a buddy that I was with a few times, and he and I used to always talk about dreams and always try to recall and recount our dreams to each other whenever we saw each other. And he was the one that was always kind of, he would make a conscious effort to train his brain to get into lucid dreaming and stuff like that. And I just couldn't stick with that idea of training that. And to this day, I mean, I might think of it now like, yeah, I really need to start doing that again, but I just won't. I don't know why.
Well, what prompted me to do it is when I was 13. I think I had to be 13 because I was staying with my aunt a lot. I started having this reoccurring nightmare, and it was getting to the point where it was actually affecting me during the day. Like I was just a basket case. So that's how I basically broke the cycle. Was just trying to either change that dream or just get rid of it completely.
Wow, so it was basically out of necessity.
Absolutely. Oh my God, yes. I mean, it doesn't, when I try to tell people about the dream, it doesn't seem like it's that extreme, but just the amount of fear and helplessness, just being as vulnerable as I was, it just, it was a trip.
So what level of lucid dreaming were you able to achieve?
There were times when I could just go to sleep and just let myself dream about whatever I was going to dream. And if it turned out to be something either I thought was bland, like literally in the dream thinking this is boring, or if it was something that I was scared of or something that I wanted to happen, I would just be like, okay, we're going to dream about this now. And I would literally switch my landscape and just dream about that and let it progress however it was going to progress.
That is a coveted skill right there.
Well, I wish I could still do it as often, but now it's just kind of hit and miss.
Wow. Yeah, I actually can't remember the last time I was really able to do that consciously, but there was a time where I was nearing the level of godhood in my dreams. It was really cool, and I wrote about a few of those dreams a long time ago in my earlier videos. But if we get around to it, I might even read a couple of those to you guys. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Famine 52. I don't think you outweigh me by a few 100 pounds, and I don't think you're a bad guy. You're probably just a big old lovable teddy bear just like me. Alright, let's see. E, you been swamped this semester and haven't been able to send me a story. That's totally fine, my friend. You've got your priorities in the exact correct order from what I can see. So good luck with your studies, and get me that story whenever you got a few minutes to jot it down. Remember, when you guys send me something, I am going to write it myself. You don't have to write it out like it's a Reddit post or something like that, because I don't read verbatim what people send me. You send me something, I have questions, I ask the questions to see what details I can flesh out, and then I write it in the story that is kind of my style. So don't worry too much about it. Just give me the details, and I'll take it from there. It's kind of almost like an interview type of a deal. Oh man, okay, let's see.
There's a wonderful conversation here about absinthe.
Absinthe. Well, I gotta find that. Valerie Ronquillo. Good evening, my friend. Nice to see you. I'm really, you see, I'm looking at these things, and all of a sudden like 50 more comments just pop up out of nowhere that I didn't see before. My boy Axeman is in the house, and he's probably been here waiting for me to notice him for like the past 10 minutes.
It's been a couple of minutes. Danny wants to know if you have any projects coming up with Dark Waters.
I don't. I speak to him every so often, but we haven't worked on anything in quite a long time on YouTube anyway. And there's always something. He is a man of many projects like myself, so there's always something kind of brewing. But no, I haven't done anything of note lately with Dark Waters.
Dr. Blue, you can type out your question if you want. Or I guess they can email you if it's like a detailed question, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes. And okay, what is he saying that he's got some?
I have a question for you about your stories. So.
Okay, yeah, ask away. It might be something that everybody is interested in hearing. Who knows? All right, let's see. Sinister Potato suggested dream reading as understanding and learning what dreams are and what causes them. And as your understanding grows, so will your ability. That's a good point. I wonder. Well, if I had to guess, I would say that's some sound advice, because pretty much anything that you really study and learn about, it starts to kind of become an intrinsic part of the way you think after a while. So maybe that's just the key to unlock that lucid dreaming is, educating yourself and learning scientifically what dreams are and why they happen, even though that's a really murky subject as far as I know. I don't think anyone really knows for sure why we dream or what dreams actually consist of. But I'm sure inundating your mind every so often with that information will just make you a little bit more acutely aware of what your brain is going through and when, because like I think Famine 52 mentioned earlier in his in one of his comments that he doesn't dream at all, or as far as he knows, I'm sure he dreams, but he's not aware of them. And if you read about dreams and you study and try to elevate your understanding of it, I'm sure that that will be on your mind enough to where you'll be more aware and more keen on figuring out exactly what your brain is doing when you're asleep and how you can really access that a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Actually, I have a little trick. Now, I've not had to utilize it because, I have no problem with my dreams, but look up exactly when you're supposed to hit REM sleep in
Mm.
that cycle. Set an alarm to wake up at that moment of, when you're supposed to hit it, and you should be able to recall what you were thinking about, dreaming about, whatever. I mean, I'd probably do it on a weekend, but
Yeah,
you know.
probably. Because I think that's probably at like 3 in the morning or something like that, or I think it's about halfway through your sleep cycle where that happens, as far as I've heard. And on top of that, probably have a pencil and paper right next to your bed or something where you can jot down exactly what you saw and heard and in whatever details that you can remember. And I
Yeah.
always find that whenever I do that and write down just a general description of what I saw in my dream, when I wake up and I go over and read that, the whole thing comes back to me in like cinematic detail, even if it's just notes. So that I always advocate for that. If you want to increase your recollection of dreams that you have, as soon as you wake up, make sure you write them down.
Yeah. And if you don't want to do the whole writing thing, you can always record it, use your phone, go old school and get a cassette recorder, whatever.
That's a pretty good one too. Just talking about it into a recorder. That's way easier, I guess.
Just be prepared to get a lot of slurred speech and things that make no sense.
Yep, yep.
Let's see. Oh, is it Dr. Blue? Yeah, Dr. Blue came back. He wanted to know what subject you wouldn't cover if somebody sent you a story.
I do not cover stories that are completely obviously fabricated, and I've gotten a few of those. I don't cover ones that are excessively sexual in nature, and I've gotten plenty of those.
Oh my god, really?
Oh, yes. Some of them way more involved than the others. And some of them I can't even. I mean, I don't know what the mean age is for people that are watching this stream, but there are things that I just would never talk about on the air, not knowing, if there are any kids watching or listening, because it's just not right.
That's understandable. Just keep it PG-13, right?
Yeah, yeah, 13 is a good number, because there's some of the stuff people send me is so ridiculous, and the crazy thing is that a lot of them still insist that it really happened. And I'm sorry, I'm really open minded, but my mind can only open but so wide. And if you're telling me that you had a threesome with actual video game characters, but they were real, then I can't help you with that. So don't email me. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know that's not funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but people really think stuff like that. I mean, and maybe you know what? I could be the fool here, and maybe that guy did have a life altering experience with like Street Fighter characters or whoever. But I don't believe it. So
Street Fighter?
it was actually Darkstalkers, but I was trying to give him some anonymity, but whatever. I actually don't care at this point. Nino the
You know what?
fam, greetings.
On that subject though, there have been like alien abduction stories where the images that come across are something familiar and weird like that. And it's just supposedly it's just like the aliens projecting something that's going to make the person feel comfortable. So
Hmm.
it could have been something in that vein.
Yeah, that's that's very reasonable deconstruction of that. But it was almost like the person. It's I got the feeling that the person was starting to write something bogus, and then they just started really feeling it, and they were really enjoying their experience of writing that and picturing it in their head, so they just got carried away, and then they're like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to send this to Mr. X Dreams.
Maybe
So
they were just like a late bloomer to fanfic, you know? I mean,
I
I
mean,
remember back in the day, I loved Wolverine, so
yeah, but I mean, would you write that fanfic and then be like, hey,
I never know.
this person does true paranormal stories, so let me send this fanfic to them and insist repeatedly that it's real and that it literally happened in my home. That's I don't think you would do that.
No, I would never send it out. I burnt it.
Oh, so this actually existed.
Oh
All
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah. I have.
I'm gonna need you to rewrite that from memory and
Oh
send
no,
it to me.
no,
Create
no, no,
another account, send it to me, and insist that it really happened.
no. I
That's
don't know what it
exactly
was.
what happened to me.
It's like I'm not even a real big like. I don't know. X-Men was kind of limited. I liked Wolverine, Gambit, and Jubilee. Those were my favorites, hands down. And
Hmm.
I was fixated for a while. I really was.
And this is like X-Men, like during like the cartoon series time, or was it from the comic books?
Comic books.
Okay, because I was gonna say the Wolverine on the cartoon series was pretty rough. I got kind of I'd be surprised if any young girls were like crushing on him because he was kind of hardcore. But hey, to each their own. Hey,
We're not going to talk about that.
okay, noted. I will leave that where it lies.
At least Tom's on my side.
Tom is like the stream MVP right now. Tom is I assume. Well, I'm not going to assume anything about Tom, but whoever Tom is talking to everybody right now. That's really cool. Lively discussions, even if we can't keep up with all of them because this chat box just jumps around like a mad person.
Gambit
Using
is sexy. You've got it right.
I love Gambit. I had an action figure of Gambit back in the day. Back in the days where
Really?
we used to just, oh man,
Oh my
me and
god.
my brother, we had all these different action figures, and we would set them up on like different parts of our room and just have huge
Mm-hmm.
wars with like literally, I mean, Ninja Turtles, X-Men, GI Joes, Transformers, everyone was fighting each other, and eventually it was just a pile of toys and no one knew who was fighting who. It was
This is the
glorious.
best.
It was awesome.
Oh my god. No, I've fixated on Gambit quite a bit. I had his comics when they came out, and oh my god, do you remember Pogs?
Yes.
I had his slammer. Oh my god, that was my
What?
prized possession.
Wow. Slammer. What was the slammer made of?
I think it was just plastic. I don't think it was one of the metal ones. It was just like the
Okay.
really like thick puck plastic ones.
Yeah, those were cool. Those were cool.
But yeah.
I remember those. People used to carry them around in those little sleeves,
Uh
like
huh.
the plastic tubes. That was those were the days.
So stupid.
Yeah. But have you ever seen a metal slammer? That is not
Oh my
stupid.
god, yes.
That
That
I'm
is dangerous.
and yeah, I'm sure some people have broken their fingers with that. I and I just kind of realized I never had a metal slammer of my own. But I've ever since I went in the military, I've gotten this kind of not obsession, but kind of an obsession with collecting challenge coins. And those are, you know, like anything you do in the military, you can get there's like a metal, a good like heavy thick metal coin
Mm-hmm.
inscribed with something with that thing, or if it's a unit that you served with or an event that you participated in, they usually have coins for that. And you know, if you get a marksman score on your, you know, when you're rifle shooting or something, you could
Yeah.
potentially get a coin. So I literally have in my closet probably 40 different coins between the military and things that I've done since then in that realm. And I have this thing where if there's a coin for something, I will try to get it. I will do whatever I have to do to get that coin. And I think that it's because I never had a metal slammer, because they look almost exactly like those.
Do they really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a coin, but it's got, you know, the United States, whatever on it or
Uh-huh.
around it, and then it's got a cool picture, and some of them are like glazed or emblazoned with things. Some of them are etched, but every unit has one, or every unit of note has one, and you know, there's all kinds of things, police, military, everything, where you can get a cool coin. And I've literally been collecting those for like the past 10 years. And I just realized I'm just trying to fill that void in my child's soul of never having a metal slammer that I always wanted.
It's
Hmm.
Pogs for like G.I. Joe. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I don't even remember what pogs I had. I don't even know if I know I had some pogs. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if I just threw them out one day because I realized they were dumb or what.
Probably. I think that's what I did.
But if I had a slammer, I would not have thrown that out. You know, I would have thrown out the paper pogs. Who cares about
Yeah.
those? They're all crinkled up anyway from using slammers on them. But yeah, I would have kept that.
I
It'd
don't
be
know
in
what
my
happened to
collection right
mine.
now.
It just disappeared one day, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm. Hmm. Najda or Nida. Greetings, friend. You said there's an app to see if you talk in your sleep. That's interesting. I wonder. I guess it just records once it hears a noise or something.
Well, they have that for snoring too. So.
Hmm. That would be pretty interesting to see if you talk in your sleep, though. I'm pretty sure I've spoken in my sleep a couple of times. It's usually right after when I'm trying to wake up from a dream, I'll start talking. Or so I've been told anyway.
I carry on complete conversations. That's why I tell people if I'm not like literally setting up in bed looking at you, maybe getting up and walking around for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And if I've
Yeah.
said yes to something, just don't count on there not being a fight later on.
Yeah,
So
it's null and void if you're not completely in control and aware of your faculties.
and there's
That's
even been
that's
times that
fair.
people have told me that I've been sleeping with my eyes open, which is kind of really weird. But
Hmm.
I don't know. I do weird shit when I
It
sleep.
is it is doable though. I learned to do that. I trained myself to sleep with my eyes open in boot camp because I
Do
had to.
do you actually get like refreshing sleep when that happens though? I mean,
No, but it's all about the micro doses.
yeah.
So like when you know that you're not going to have, you know, when there's only going to be a few hours when you go to bed at night, if you know that like any moment there could be a metal trash can flying across your bay right by your feet and slamming into the wall before tons of people run in yelling at everyone to get out of their bed. You know, you start to value the idea, the concept of there being like 30 seconds that you can kind of half sleep throughout the day.
Yeah.
And if you're standing out in the middle of a field, you know, in formation for 3 hours, that little 30 seconds here and there, you know, even with your eyes open, you got your hat tilted down just enough to where no one could really tell if your eyes are kind of like slumped or not. and you can't lock your knees out for too long because you'll fall over and pass out. But it's a science, and only the most skilled and devious sleepers are able to actually master that.
Oh, I don't know. I did the whole micro sleep thing one time, and oh my god, it was when I was working two jobs and I was coming home late at night driving. I mean, this is dangerous. This is nothing funny. And I didn't even realize that I had nodded off until I started hearing the tires over on the gravel side of the road.
Hmm.
You know, because I was almost going to go into a ditch. But I don't know. That's scary.
Yeah,
Um,
that's not the time to do it.
no.
For sure. Let me see here. I just had a warp drive jump in my chat, and there's like a whole page of stuff I haven't seen. Raven showed up for a second there, but she had to run. Hey there, Raven, if you're still there.
I didn't even see her.
And Leah Love, you are completely correct. Nyx's giggles are, you can actually like filter it and it turns into rainbows. And then you filter that and it turns into, I'm told, turns into unicorn tears, which then can make the highest grade absinthe you've ever seen in your life.
You guys are so weird.
Yes, we are. Welcome to the Dreamers. Someone asked, I think Leah Love asked, what is a slammer? And
Oh, she's a young one.
yeah, must be. Okay, hold on a second. Donica 691 and Mohammed Sharif. Greetings, my friends. I didn't see you guys pop in there. But let's see. What is a slammer? All right, I'm gonna try to explain it, Nyx, and you correct me if I'm wrong on anything, because this is what I remember. Pogs were these little cardboard or thick construction paper type things. It was almost like cardstock, but really thick.
Yeah, there were
Circular.
different levels. So the real cheap ones were like almost paper, and
Yeah,
then
they
there
could
was
just
like
bend in
bigger
half like
Yeah.
anytime. Then there were like the really good ones that were thicker cardstock type paper that was really hard to bend, but they were always printed with some kind of branded designs, like characters from a TV show or cartoon character. Yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. And the slammers were the main attraction there. People would have hundreds of pogs of different types, and pogs were a dime a dozen. But slammers was like, your slammer collection was it was almost like gym badges in Pokemon. I mean, you would think that kids had to fight some kind of battle to get each one, because there was so much pride when a kid showed you their slammer. And what a slammer was, it was the same size as a pog at first, but then they started coming out with ones that were significantly bigger than a standard pog size, and they had different textures, and they were usually either thick plastic or some of them were metal, like the high grade ones, and those would be emblazoned with different logos or designs, or they would have like those cool lacquered images on them, where
Yeah.
it was just really good quality, really like hefty piece of trinket basically. And that was the pride and joy of any kid in school back in the early 90s. And yeah, that's the I don't remember exactly what you're supposed to do with these objects.
You don't remember how to play?
I think you take the slammer and you're supposed to slam it down on the pog and make the pog flip over or something like that.
Okay.
Isn't that something like that?
This is probably going back even further, and all the young ones are going to be like, what are you talking about? But do you know how to play marbles?
I've seen it on TV.
Okay.
I mean, I had marbles, but I've never actually played marbles. I don't know. I think you got me like by two or 3 years, but apparently that's like a whole generational gap right there.
Well, I was raised by old ladies. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Anyway,
that's right. You were raised by your nana and great grandma.
yeah. Okay, so basically there are mats that have the circle around them like you would find in marbles, or you could just draw a circle on the ground or whatever. And you throw all of your pogs into the circle, and you have your slammer, which is the equivalent to a marble masher. And basically what you do is you hold it like you would almost be skipping a stone, and you would slam it into the pile, and everything that was outside of the circle was yours until everything was gone.
Hmm.
So when you have like two or three people playing around and everybody puts in their pogs, people lose, people gain. That's all it is.
Wow. So it was like gambling for kids.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm. Well, I guess. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was that serious. I wonder if there was any kind of like seedy underbelly to some schools where, kids were getting their fingers broken for pogs and stuff like that. That's
Dude.
crazy. I don't know
I mean,
what
it
is
was
going
pretty
on with my
serious back
my
in the
videos
day.
here.
I remember kids were like, the equivalent to, I guess, Pokemon. I mean, they're really serious about these pogs.
Hmm.
I just like to collect the neat ones. I never really played.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I didn't even get anywhere near I don't know. I think someone just gave me a bunch of pogs one day and that became my pog collection. Never got a slammer. And I basically was just doomed to only lose pogs forever because I had no slammer.
yeah. I
Hmm.
forgot all about the holographic ones. Oh my god.
Oh
Those were
yeah.
so cool.
I did see a few of those. Hmm.
I think I
Okay.
want a pog.
I wonder if you could even buy pogs anymore. You know
I
what?
bet you can on eBay.
I'm gonna pull that up and see if you can even just buy pogs. I'm gonna go to Amazon and see if there's any pog sets.
Oh my god. That's
Pogs.
crazy if you can.
Pogs. Yeah, you can, and they look freaking ridiculous.
They are, aren't they?
A box of like 500 pogs, $25.
Oh,
Got Spider-Man. All right. Well, I gotta
you
see
could
the
print
slammers
off
though.
pogs for cheaper than that.
Yeah, just print them and cut them out. I think I
Uh-huh.
actually tried to do that before, and the result was ridiculous.
Did you have cardstock or was it just like normal paper?
I think I just used like construction paper. I
Uh,
might have even just drawn on them. That's so sad.
rabbit hole
Jeez.
of pogs.
Hmm. Okay. I think Brooklyn. You gotta sleep because she's not well. Oh, that sucks. I hope you feel better as soon as possible, Brooklyn. I need your support, so you gotta get back into the fight as soon as you can.
Valerie, that's so cool. Oh my god, another thing. Now, this might just be like a hillbilly thing, but does anybody remember playing a game called Mumbly Peg?
Um, no.
No. Well, you play it with a pocket knife, one of the three-bladed pocket knives.
That sounds
And,
safe.
well, I said it was a hillbilly thing. So, but
Yeah, you
anyway,
did. You did add that caveat.
Anyway, you basically pull out all the blades and you balance it on the smallest blade that's underneath and the back blade, and you flip it up into the air. And if it sticks in the ground, this is the worst part. I don't understand why this is fun, but there is a peg in the ground that you're supposed to use your mouth, your teeth, to grab it out of the ground. And I guess if you succeed, you win.
Hmm.
I don't know.
So if
Yeah.
you succeed, you win. But if you slice your mouth open, I guess you lose.
Well, you're just grabbing the peg. You're not grabbing the knife. The knife
Okay.
basically is just the counter for if it's your turn and if you get to get the peg out of the ground, I guess.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't know.
wait. Where's the peg come in? I'm like maybe
It's
I'm
called
just
mumbly peg.
maybe I'm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Now that you say that, it makes total sense.
Look, I don't even know if this is a real game. It was just something that one of my uncles showed me when I was a kid.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe I was just fixated on the triple bladed knife that you said. I'm just thinking of someone throwing a three bladed knife that's like a
Well, it's not like you
triangular
really
thing.
throw it. It's like, you just lightly balance it on like both of your forefingers. You have the middle blade, the small blade that's like sticking downwards on your forefinger, and then the back, and then you just kind of lightly flip it so it flips in the air and hopefully it sticks in the ground.
Okay.
So it's not like
Hmm.
you're, you know, throwing swords at somebody.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
you got a donation.
oh my goodness. Dr. Blue. I know it's not a lot, but I have so much respect for you, and maybe you can share with Nix. You're an amazing person. I hope it helps, bro. Dr. Blue, thank you so very much. I very much appreciate your donation, my friend. And I know you just got a hoodie recently. So thank you for that as well. I'm still collecting those pictures from people to put in a hopefully an awesome video that I'm going to be doing pretty soon, just showing all the supporters that bought shirts and things like that and mugs. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate the donation very much. It means a lot when somebody does something like that. All right. So
Tom says that is very hillbilly. So I'm
that
assuming you're out in the
is
sticks too. Did anybody ever take you snipe hunting?
no.
No, that's a trip.
I've actually never been out hunting for anything really.
Really?
Yeah, I mean I've killed a few animals for food, but I've never really gone out hunting.
Well, okay, when I say like hunting, that is exactly what I mean. Like there is no game hunting. That's in my worldview, that is not acceptable.
Yeah, I hate that. I really don't like that idea. So what do you like about snipe hunting?
Snipe hunting ain't real.
Oh,
There is a bird called a snipe. And
that's
it
what
is a
I
little
thought you
cute
were
bird.
talking about. I was like, what?
But
I thought of that as
when
being a small bird, but like, why would you hunt and eat that?
when somebody from out in the sticks tells you they're going to take you snipe hunting, basically what they do is they give you a pillowcase or some kind of bag, like, a gunny sack or something like that, and a stick and a flashlight.
Hmm.
Now, basically, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hold the bag open and beat the ground with sticks, the brush to try to get the snipes out, and shine your flashlight into the bag. And the snipes are supposed to jump into the bag. But basically, what it is your person, cousin, uncle, whoever, just took you out in the woods and left you. And you're out there
Oh
beating
my
the ground
gosh,
with a stick, with a flashlight, and a bag.
that is so terrible.
Mm.
But it's probably pretty funny as well. I would like to see an infrared night vision, video of the person experiencing that.
Well,
You
it
know.
wasn't funny. I was the oldest one. My cousin was 2 years younger than me, and then we had my younger cousin. She was 3, 4 years younger than me. So I'm the oldest one. I'm out there in the woods. Well, actually, it was like the back pasture, but still, it was dark.
Yeah, I bet. Jeez.
Hillbilly babysitting. Yeah,
What is
pretty
what
much.
is going on? I thought hillbillies stuck together and loved each other. I guess that's their idea of fun. I mean, if you live out in the sticks, you
Oh,
got
it
to
is
come up with
fun.
something.
Just ask anybody. It is fun.
Yeah, it sounds terrifying and fun must be very closely related out there.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, if you don't come back, they'll come and get you. But
Hmm.
I've heard
You
people
don't sound too confident about that.
because, well, I've heard like my older relatives say, you only go looking for somebody when the sun comes up. So they give them all night to make it back.
Jeez. Yeah, you're probably all hardened by then, probably had to saw off one of your own feet. Gamer of the Wind says a live action adaptation of Wolf's Rain directed by Ridley Scott. What, is that a thing? I've never seen Wolf's Rain, believe it or not. People have been telling me about it for many years, but I've never seen it. Also,
What is it?
greetings, great gamer of the winds, and Nika83 Smith or Nika. Greetings, my friends, and happy you're here. Wolf's Rain is an anime, and it's apparently about people who turn into wolves or wolves that turn into people or something like that. But it's very highly acclaimed. It has kind of a cult following, but I never got around to it.
Hmm. I might
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Ambar, when did I call you old?
I think it was the whole marbles thing.
Oh wait, maybe she said that she used to play marbles or something like that. For the record, I didn't say anything about that. Nyx is the one who admitted that she's actually 87-year-old lady and plays marbles.
I just had a very unique childhood.
Yes, you actually did. And it's funny how so many different elements of that have popped up so far on this, just in this hour of talking. It's really interesting. No, I mean, how do we know? You've never shown your face. How do we know you're not actually an old elderly woman with the voice of a fairy? The way as everyone seems to classify your voice. Yeah, we don't know exactly. That's my point.
Shut up.
Yep, there's the old lady voice coming through. Shut up. Let's see here. Wow, Power Ranger Pogs. I've seen those. I have seen those. Storage unit. You wait a minute. Leah Love. You said you found. Did you find some Pogs in a storage unit or something like that? Space Jam Metal Slammer on eBay right now. Where is it, Tariko? That sounds like a good investment. Forget Bitcoin. Get your Space Jam Metal Slammers. Marco Ramos, greetings, friend.
Let's see. What's a couple? Where is that? Oh, Danny wants to know when we'll get to see the Black Panther mask.
Oh, somebody is following my Instagram/Twitter. As you might have seen earlier today that a large portion of the work that I did ended up being a complete failure. So I actually have to wait a while before I can get some more silicone to create the mold on the outside of the clay sculpture mask. So that stuff is pretty expensive. So I'm gonna have to shelf it for a while. Hopefully nothing happens to the clay while I'm waiting to get my silicone. But yeah, we'll see.
Isn't there like a spray that you're supposed to put over the clay to help like seal it in for moisture and stuff?
Well, the clay that I used is actually it's called plasticine. It never dries or never nothing. It just stays however you put it until you touch it and move it again.
Oh.
So it's different. It's not like the kind that'll dry and or you don't bake it or anything like that. It's just clay it's like forever clay.
Well, that's cool.
You can always work it and mess around with it, scrape it, do whatever you got to do. It's pretty cool though. That was the first time I actually sculpted anything. If you guys haven't seen it, if you follow me on Instagram at Mr. X Dreams, I have like time lapse videos of sculpting this Black Panther mask on a head cast that I have of my own head. And it was a pretty cool experience. It was fun.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let's back up a moment. So that you posted today, that's your first time ever doing something like that?
Yes, it is.
Dude, do you have any idea how good that looks?
Honestly,
I thought you have done this before.
No, I haven't. I'm glad you think so because I'm pretty happy with it. But yeah,
Oh, that's
I was just like,
awesome.
what, you know, I don't know. I've never sculpted anything significant before, and that was really cool to be able to do that.
You might have just found, your calling or something because a novice first time, that's incredible.
Well, thank you. I don't know if there's a big market for that, but because I'm sure there's people that actually can do real legit crazy stuff. But for my little hobbies and stuff, I'm happy. I'm happy that I kind of have a somewhat of a natural aptitude towards that. I guess it's just drawing and stuff over the years. If you can do one type of art, you can probably do another.
Yeah, probably. I wish I could draw. I just never could. I just never could master that. And it was a shame because I really, really wanted to.
Hmm. Well, you just got to keep doing it. Just keep 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 at it. Every person that I've told, every person that has told me that they can't draw, and then I told them just keep drawing no matter how bad it looks or no matter how unsatisfied you are with it. Just keep going and keep doing it over and over again, and then you will get better. In my experience, everyone that I've told to do that and they have done it, they're actually really good artists now. You know,
Wow.
so I think you should, I think you should just keep going and keep trying different things. Maybe you have a niche or something that you haven't discovered yet. Where like maybe you're good at. Some people are good at drawing things as they see them, so they could walk up, look at a TV or look at a landscape or look at a bowl of fruit or something and draw it pixel perfect. And other people, like me, for example, I can only draw what's in my head. I can't, if I look at someone's face or if I look at a room, I can't really draw real things in the real world that I see very well. I can draw something, I could come up with something out of my head and draw it really well, off the top of my head, but it's just not where my skill set really lies, you know. Just like with the Black Panther thing, I was looking for a while. I was looking at a picture of the Black Panther mask from the movie,
Yeah.
and I was like kind of trying to do that, but I was like I can't do it. So I just did my own thing and just turned that picture off and put on some other like mundane videos on YouTube just to have something playing for me to listen to, and I just did my own thing that kind of ended up looking more like the old school Black Panther from the comics. So, that's just where my skill set lies for now.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's a good relief from my day-to-day grind, Actually, I've been up since like 4 this morning because I got a call in the early in the morning that I had to go out and go to work. It was totally unexpected, but comes with the nature of my job. So, I'm actually surprised I'm still awake right now. Probably won't be doing any streaming up until 1 a.m. like we used to do back in the day. I think I'm going to go for another half an hour probably. Whoa. I think we got another donation.
Oh,
Let's see
yeah.
here.
Jessica.
Jessica. Greetings, Jessica. I didn't see you slip in there, did I? Love your energy. Don't ever let that go. Thank you for everything. And thank you. You've been a very vocal and a very treasured and valued supporter recently. I've been seeing all your comments, Jessica D, and I appreciate you very much for that $10 donation. Thank you so much. You just got here, you're already just making it rain on old Mr. X and Nix. And we appreciate it. All right, I got to keep track of this because
Let's see.
I need to make sure that Nix gets her cut after taxes, of course. Marco Ramos or Ramos. What do I do in law enforcement? That is a good question, and it is a question that shall remain unanswered. Teresa Jones, ginseng. Wait a minute, did I miss something? Why did you say ginseng? I don't know the context.
We've got a couple of comments wanting to go back to dreams. I think people were wanting to talk about dreams.
Well, you know what, guys? That's a good idea. Ray Ayanami, greetings. Oh, Mohammed Sharif, you had a nightmare about being chased by bears. That's not very fun, now is it?
Bears scare me.
Yeah, I've never seen a bear in real life, and I hope I never do, because those things, I don't like people being bigger than me. It feels weird because it's not frequent that I run into people that are bigger than me, or taller rather. But an animal that's taller than me, I'm 6'4", and an animal that is bigger, like just more massive than I am, that's not cool. That's a monster.
Yeah.
Some people think I'm a monster. They look at me and I'm a monster to them. Imagine something that to me is a monster. That's even worse. Yeah. If that makes me probably sound like a child or something, it's very simplistic sounding, but that bears are huge.
They are.
And I don't like them.
It's like I've had to actually start reading up on the bears that are here in Oklahoma because I was thinking about doing some weekend camping towards the eastern part of Oklahoma, and around those forested areas we actually do have bears. And they're out there. So I was like, okay, so which bears are most prolific around here? What do I do? Because each bear, like, you do different things. Like, there are some bears that you make a noise or you back up and you walk away, you get away from them. I think grizzlies, if they try to actually attack you and not just, posture, you need to fight back or they will kill you. Whereas I think it's either the black bear or the brown bear, you can probably scare them away. Like, there's a high percentage you can. So.
Jeez. Well, I'll just keep my distance from anywhere that has bears.
You are such a city boy. You know that, right?
Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, trust me, I love the wilderness more than anything else. When I'm in the wilderness, like my kind of wilderness that I like, which is kind of more mountainous and green, like evergreen tree type wilderness where, there might be some bears are. Yes, and that's why I'm so conflicted. Because when I'm out in a place like that, everything, my body works different. It's like I turned into Wolverine, basically. Almost literally. And it would take me quite a while to explain why that or how that happens, but I mean, like, if I have a wound on my body, 24 hours in the wilderness, that wound will be completely healed. That's what happens to me in the wilderness, in that type of environment, among many other extraordinary changes that happen to me. That, I mean, I could walk 20 miles in the wilderness, but I can't walk 20 miles in a city. You know what I mean? It's just different. It's a different energy that I get from that type of life surrounding me. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, I do. I mean, honestly, I view, like, urban areas as being dead. Like, I just, you can't get a real feel from, like, the land, like, nature itself. I feel the best when I am out in the woods because everything's alive and you can feel that energy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Okay. So for real this time, guys, I'm gonna go through some of these chats real quick, and then I am going to read you guys one of my most intense and interesting, in my opinion, dreams that I've ever chronicled. And so first I'm gonna go through a couple of these comments real quick. Marco Ramos said, I mentioned a nightmare where I died in a nuclear blast. and that Marco had a nightmare where you fought alongside others, like in a war, civil war, after some type of collapse. Those are some of the most interesting types of dreams to me, where those kind of post-apocalyptic settings. I've had several of those, including one that I believe I have on my document here that I am prepared to read. I might read that one. I'll describe some of the dreams that I have listed over here, and maybe we can have a vote on which ones or which one you want me to read. Okay. Also, Ray Ayanami, real quick. You said that you used to draw all the time, and you wish that you could do that again. I encourage you to just take out a pencil and paper and start drawing. I'm sure it'll come back to you, and it's a good release. It's a good skill to hone, and I encourage that with everyone, really. Anything artistic that you can get into and hone your talent, that's always good. Jason Last, greetings, my friend, and yes, you have made it to a live chat, and you made it at a good time too, because we're about to read one of these dreams in just a minute here. All right, let's see. Making sure I'm not missing anything before I go into something else. Haley B, Mr. X is a cryptid confirmed. I don't know, I might be a cryptid of some sort, who knows. I don't feel very bestial right now, but throw me in the woods and I'm basically a hairless or relatively hairless cryptid. I do have some hair though. I am having a great stream, Ray Ayanami, thank you. SFGT narrated 3 chapters on its podcast. I'm actually writing a story for both he and I to read together. It's going to be kind of an original. Well, I'm writing it, so it's kind of a creepypasta type of situation. Nida, good night, my friend. Thank you very much for hanging out with us for a little bit. I appreciate it. All right, I'm getting almost to the end of these comments, and then I will tell you guys what dreams I have prepared to read for you, and you can pick which one you want to hear. Wolverine has always been an inspiration to me, by the way. And I guess maybe I just didn't want to say that when you were when Nyx was talking about how big of a crush she had on him. But yeah, I mean, I'm basically the closest thing to Wolverine that you'll probably ever see. But you know, it's all good. Totally different guy. All right. Okay, so guys, I don't know how many of you have recently seen any of my old school dreams. Like I'm talking about like my first 5 uploads to the Mr. X Dreams channel. And the very reason why my channel is called Mr. X Dreams. I'm Mr. X, and the tagline used to be, "And welcome to my dreams," because I was describing my dreams. Eventually I got into the paranormal stuff and the true scary stories as people started listening. People started to submit stories for me to read or to write and then read. And it kind of changed the focus a little bit. But right now, I'm kind of feeling like doing a redux of these old dream chronicles that I used to write about my own dreams. And I have some really interesting ones that I think you might find a little intriguing as well. So, I will read the names of these dreams. I have a kind of a short 1 or 2 word title for each one. And I will read the names and I want you guys to tell me which one you want to hear. Oh, SFGT. He has shown up. We were just talking about how I'm working on that story for both of us to read together. And I know I've been telling him this for like months, but believe me, I've been so busy I can barely write my own stuff. That's why I'm actually live streaming today, because I literally had no time to write and produce a regular story, of which I'm also happen to be running out, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so I got 3 dreams for you guys to choose from, and you're going to have to infer on what you want to hear about or what the dream might be about, just based on a simple title. All right. Okay, so dream number 1. Dark Child. Dream number 2. Seductress. And dream number 3. Mutant Apocalypse. I'll say it again, just in case you missed it. Dream number 1. Dark Child. Dream number 2. Seductress. Or dream number 3. Mutant Apocalypse. All right. Tell me, let me know which ones you guys want to see, and I will try my best to tally those up. 1, 2, or 3. Number 1 being Dark Child. Number 2 being Seductress. Number 3 being Mutant Apocalypse.
I think it's going to be in between 1 and 3.
Yeah, it looks like, I only see 2 votes for number 2. There's several coming in for number 3. And there's a bunch of them for number 1. Let's see, keep them coming. All right, this is going to be really hard. Okay, all right, I'll count the number of 1s and you count the number of 3s. How about that?
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure there's not that many 2s. All right. What do you got?
I think I have 13.
Wow. I think I have 10 of number 1. That's surprising.
Well, I vote for number 1.
All right. Okay. Let me see here. Let me see. I might be able to, maybe I'll just do both of them. Maybe I'll be able to do 1 and 3. And guys, don't get mad at me if you hear a kind of a redone version of these same dreams on my channel in the near future, because I have been wanting to do kind of a redux series of some of my original content from my channel, some of my old dreams and stuff like that. So I don't foresee anything. I don't foresee any issues with that, but just so you know, heads up, you might be hearing these in an actually produced video. Okay, so I'll read number 1, and then I'll try to read number 3 as well. All right, number 1, Dark Child. So, I'm in some sort of operating room. The air smells typical for that of a pristine hospital. Scrubbed chemical odors waft about, producing a slight sting in my nostrils I look over to my left, and I see a group of people with long white coats, doctors and nurses, huddled around a hospital bed. I walk forward to investigate. There's a beautiful brown-skinned woman on the bed, which I can now see is a birthing table. She is amidst the throes of labor, and I cannot but assume that I am the father. Her breathing is intense. The focused grimace of pure concentration twists the stunning features of her face. With a final push, she relaxes, leaning her head back onto the mattress. I can see just over the shoulder of my doctor my first glimpse of our newborn child. A boy, I think. The doctor turns to me, handing me the infant. He's wearing a surgical mask that obscures most of his face, but his eyes betray a peculiar sense of dread. I look the boy over, inspecting his features. His skin is unusually pale, but I can still see the honey-colored undertones of his complexion. His hair is black and silken. His arms, legs, and head are all well formed. I notice that he appears to be completely docile, not crying or squirming the way one would expect for a newborn. His eyes slowly crack open to reveal something that immediately unnerves me. Where each of his eyes should be, there's a faceted crystalline orb of darker black than I have ever seen. He stares at me with a knowing gaze, as if he is expecting something else to happen. A black feather flicks past my eye, causing me to flinch. In my mind, I can hear a voice. "I know you know what I am. You had better take care of me." I think to myself, with the first waves of fright lapping at the shores of my consciousness, what kind of child is this? I have the innate feeling that this creature in my arms is the ultimate life form, in possession of potential that transcends everything currently known to man. Whether he will be a boon or a blight shall remain to be seen. I feel a sharp pang of fear creeping its way into my thoughts. At that very moment, the woman on the table cries out again, this time in great pain. It's clear that something is terribly wrong. The doctors and nurses clamor around the birthing table as I lift my head to investigate. I can see between the woman's legs something slowly emerging from her birth canal. A small appendage resembling an undeveloped hoof, followed by a tiny horse-like head. This creature emerges from the woman's body and feebly crawls up to stand upon her stomach. Another black feather glances across my vision, then another several, as one of the nurses begins to scream in terror. The creature looks like something torn from the womb of a beast, far too early to have become a viable member of its own kind. It stands on 4 legs and struggles to keep its balance. Its legs brace themselves as it begins to grow at a shocking pace, still standing on her belly. The black feathers begin to swirl around me now in a torrent. As my vision begins to be obscured by the feathers little by little, I can see the doctors and nurses bleeding from their eyes, noses, and mouths, even their ears, and collapsing one by one to the ground, where they lie motionless. The creature, now the size of a large cat, is still growing rapidly, sprouts black wings that outstretch, as if to prepare for flight. I look down at my son, whose gaze has never left me, and the world goes dark, covered and lost in the storm of black feathers. That's when I woke up. Okay, that was the end of dream number 1. Dark Child. Let me see what I missed.
Oh, there was a donation from Teresa.
Oh my goodness. Donations. Thank you so much, Teresa Jones. I really appreciate it. You didn't put a comment in there. Is there anything you wanted to say to the chat? Anytime someone sends a donation, that's a guaranteed. I'm definitely going to read exactly verbatim what you said, unless you say something crazy
There's another
that
one.
can't be read. Oh my goodness. What is going on in here today? Hey, that's awesome, guys. That really helps a lot. Nix and I are not rich, and we
No.
appreciate any assistance that you guys provide, because well, for me at least, I'll speak for myself. This is a hobby, and I love it, and it costs money. And there's every so often there's some equipment or something that needs replacing or purchasing, and these donations definitely help ease the pressure off of that. And so if you have a hobby that you like to do, and people are open up their hearts and their wallets a little bit, crack those wallets open a little bit every so often, help you out, that's a justification for being able to maintain this type of thing, and we love you for it, and it's so appreciated.
Most definitely.
And that is from Nika or Nika 83 Smith. Is it Nika or Nika?
I thought it was Nika.
Yeah, it looks like Nika.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a very I like that name. It's cool. Yeah, SFGT is saying that there's an MVP war going on. There's no need to fight wars over here for who can. Although it does look like you were trying to outbid the previous Teresa.
It does, doesn't it?
It does look like you tried to one up her a little bit, but you guys are both equally loved and appreciated for what you've done tonight, very much. Sujata, greetings, my friend. Didn't see you there. Okay, let me see here. All right, so I have a few minutes. Hey there, Raven. Greetings, and glad to have you back. By the way, Ghost Mummy, thanks for helping to moderate tonight. I've noticed that Ghost Mummy has been in there, and it's probably like what is it, like 5 in the morning or something crazy over there in the UK, and she is putting in work right now and helping us out with some of these, managing the chat a little bit, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you. SFGT, what time is it for you over there in Australia? I wonder.
I want to go to Australia.
I would go if it wasn't for the fact that everything there wants to kill you.
I just want to go someplace warm. It's like, we had snow last night. Snow. Oh God.
You see, you say snow like that, and I'm saying snow. Oh wow. I would love snow. I mean, dude, when you've lived in the armpit of America for long enough, which is Florida, just hot and humid all the time, snow is like a fantasy for you.
I don't know. I need to go further into Florida. When I was in Panama, it didn't seem as humid as what I was thinking it would be, because it's humid here in Oklahoma. But it wasn't as bad, I didn't think. So, I don't know. But I haven't, like I said, I didn't get past Ocala at one point. So.
Ocala, that is the armpit of Florida. If Florida is the armpit of the U.S., Ocala is our armpit.
Yeah.
They call it Slow-Cala over there.
Do they really?
Yeah. There's nothing there. Jessica D, my goodness. Truly making it rain. So you don't have to split the first donation, as you both deserve it. Besides, we forgot to welcome Nix back. You
Thank
guys
you.
are so awesome, man. This is why I like my dreamers, my listeners. You guys are such a nice group of people, very supportive of each other. Anybody I bring on here into this stream, you guys always show love. You always, if somebody's having a bad day, you'll see 10 messages come up helping that person out. And Nix, because you've been there
Yeah.
pretty much every time, and you guys are freaking awesome. You're awesome.
I
Okay.
think that's what I love about your community so much. It's like I've muted so many other like channels that I've subscribed to and follow on Twitter just because there's been so much drama,
Mm-hmm.
and I never see that here, and I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I did or what I do that attracts these specific types of people that are like non-toxic. They're actually like not non-toxic. They're like vitamins or something. They're the opposite of not of toxic. They actually help each other and help me. So that's a
Honestly,
real blessing.
I think it's just the way you conduct yourself. There is definitely like this aura of there's not going to be any shit here. So
Yeah.
that could be it.
I used to shut people down whenever. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And when you set that precedent, it just continues. So
Yeah, it's just like a snowball effect, but in a good way.
yeah.
That's cool. Well, you guys, yeah, you're awesome. My little Mr. X vitamins, vitamin dreamers or something. I got to make that work. Add that in there somewhere. All right. So, who still wants to hear dream number 3?
I do.
Mutant
I do.
apocalypse. And that's a kind of a cheesy name for it, but this was like 3 years ago, and I didn't know what I was doing. And this is literally what I read to you guys a minute ago was the same exact script that I read for like I think that was like my second or third video. Maybe no, maybe my fifth or sixth. And then this one is another one of those early ones. So
Oh
it's
wow.
my writing style hasn't. I mean, it hasn't changed that much, but it was a little more flowery back then because I kind of had complete free reign of how to describe everything in the dream, and I was just new at it, so I was a little bit more flowery with my language. And but I like it though. It's different. It's kind of refreshing to see the way I used to write, a couple of years ago before all the thousands of words that I've written on this channel since then. So it's cool. So coming up next, story or dream rather number 3. Also, thank you guys for your support and all the kind words for me, Nix, and even for each other. Just want to say that real quick. Yes, Chaos Theory Productions, flowery. That's the. Even though I can't really say that, I feel like I have a speech impediment or something. Flowery. Nix, can you say flowery, please?
Flowery.
Okay, I think I say it kind of the same. Flowery.
Flowery.
I feel when I certain words, I feel like I'm saying it, and I feel like I'm having. It sounds like I'm having trouble saying it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm really just being too hard on myself.
Dude, I do
Don't
that
know.
all the time. I actually like when I have like a really long story to do or whatever, and there's like a word that I know what it is. I know how to pronounce it, but it just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth. I
Mm.
normally write off in the margins. I write it out phonetically. So
Mm-hmm. It's everything, anything that we can do to just set our minds at ease.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so it sounds like you guys are ready for mutant apocalypse. What a cheesy name for a dream, but here we go. Hold on. If I start reading right now, I'm gonna like burp in 10 seconds. So give me 1 second.
Better out than in.
Yeah, just as long as it's not in your ears, because I think I've had enough of that today. All right. Dream number 3. Mutant apocalypse. I've been holed up in a high-tech bunker for more days than I can remember. We've long ago lost track of time, but in the past, a mysterious cataclysm of apocalyptic proportions occurred, leaving life on Earth shattered, a remnant of its former glory. Only about 20% of the human race still survives, and even that, unfortunately, it depends on your definition of survival. In this world, there was once a time where aliens came from outer space and had grown to be moderately accepted among human populations. Though they were often discriminated against and rarely trusted, they served many functioning roles in human society and were quickly gaining grounds in the social and political atmospheres. Those were happier times. Since then, humanity has been devastated by an unknown force. The effects seem to be totally random, as if to be the act of some twisted, whimsical deity. I have my daughter with me, Elaine, and a younger boy named Tack, who's not my son. He looks to be about 10 years old, with a gaunt build, brown skin and dusty black hair. I don't like him very much, to be honest, but he's the only one of the survivors in the facility brave enough to come with us. Elaine is still a girl, but is skilled in combat and evasion, at least enough for me to trust her to come out scouting with me. Every day, we leave the bunker in search of food and supplies. It's just the 3 of us, since everyone else is too afraid to leave the safety of the bunker. As we explore during the hours of daylight, we look off at the horizon to see how the Earth's surface has been cracked and ruptured. Entire cities have fallen into enormous fissures, with fire and magma shooting high into the sky in some places. There's a vast, random patchwork of areas that have somehow turned into bronze metal. Perfectly circular spaces where people have been frozen with grimmest expressions on their faces. Elaine and I have walked among these standing grave sites. They are an absolute marvel to behold, even considering the deep tragedies through which they came about. The streets are littered with dangerous anomalies. Some people have risen from the dead to wander. Others were transformed into writhing masses of insects, sea life or worms which course through the broken pathways aimlessly. Still others were transformed into totally new, ferocious species which are mindlessly hostile towards humans. Thankfully, those are only known by their legends so far. As our expedition is drawing to a close, we come across a dirty, weak young boy who seems to have been surviving in the wilds of the city on his own somehow. He's dressed in rags, a tattered white shirt draped over one shoulder, and a worn, filthy pair of briefs constitute his only clothing. The boy begins to follow us, making everyone uneasy. On our way back in from the route, I stop upon hearing an unfamiliar noise coming from the blown-out wall of a building. I make the call to backtrack and go back the long way around, to avoid any enemy encounters. As we back up, my daughter Elaine turns back to cover our 6, while Tack and I maintain visual contact on the area the noise came from. The boy just walks calmly, drifting in whatever direction I take. Suddenly, a rabid humanoid creature bursts from the debris, sending boards of wood and broken bricks hurtling towards us. I instinctively raise my forearm to shield my face from the projectiles when the creature charges, throwing itself towards us, forward with its limbs trailing behind its body as if they were limp. Just in time, Tack fires a round from his pistol, causing the creature to recoil, but prompts it to readjust focus to Elaine. At that very moment, I grab the unknown boy. During an instance of slowed time, I consider the fact that he looked odd somehow. I justify my split-second decision to sacrifice him by assuming that he was probably a mutant. With a strong swing of my arm, I fling his body into the path of the monster in order to save my daughter. With no resistance, no expression, he was eaten alive. It was a simple calculation of how much I cared for him versus my own daughter. After a non-stop dash for at least 2 miles, we finally arrive back at the bunker to find several residents huddled in a defunct communications unit. Coming in from the long-dormant radio equipment, we hear news of special teams being sent in from some unknown fragment of world government to investigate the anomalies. As my team and I are decompressing and discussing the events, other dwellers of the bunker watch us from afar, quivering at our recounting of our exploits. A man dressed in chemical protection gear shows up suddenly at the main entry of our facility, claiming that he's there to measure odd light waves and radio frequencies that are now present throughout the world. He seems to know more than he lets on, and I don't trust him. The leader of our bunker, a scientist, lets the chemical man inside. He and his team of mystery men rush in and immediately begin setting up equipment, scanning and cataloging everything in sight. I start to hear people protesting about being grabbed and scanned themselves, soon followed by the sounds of electronic control devices and stun guns being discharged. One by one, people are being apprehended and rounded up. As my team and I begin to calmly reach for our weapons, a hail of gunfire erupts from behind. Sounds are muffled as I drop to my knees, slowly collapsing to the ground. As my vision fades, I see the blurred image of Tack charging forward with his pistol, firing. I somehow get the inkling that the disasters that led us to this new world, may have been the result of some human meddling. I've always known the leader was weak. I've been secretly gaining support from the other survivors in order to oust him and take over as the new leader of this group. If only I had made my move sooner, I wouldn't be dying right now. And that brings us to the end of dream number 3, Mutant Apocalypse. So there were a few things about that story. If you couldn't tell, at the end, during that hail of gunfire, I was actually struck in the head, and I was just slowly dying. And the crazy thing about that dream was that it was like I had been living there for years, because I already had this whole thing of building up the following and kind of leading a secret resistance within that bunker. And, okay, hold on a second.
Yeah, Ghost Mummy just did a thing.
She did do a thing, didn't she? Oh my goodness. Very enjoyable live stream and readings. I love the rapport between you guys. Welcome back, Nyx. Thank you so much, Ghost Mummy, my dear, dear friend. One of my favorite narrators right now as well. And, I haven't actually even plugged anybody's channels today so far, except for Stories, Fables, Ghostly Tales, which definitely subscribe to him. But when I tell you guys that you need to subscribe to Ghost Mummy as well, and her skills and her story selections are so on point, fascinating every time, well done, inspiration. Yeah, but go ahead. Trust me, you'll thank me later if you haven't already. Go check her out. But yes, thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. I don't know how much that is in US money, but it's a big number, and I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's not pocket change for you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ghost Mummy. Good friend of mine too. Smooth ending, you say, SFGT. Thank you. So, okay. I'm trying to go back and look and see what some of the comments were about this dream. Someone said I was savage, which yes, I guess you could say that because I felt bad when I woke up, but I was like, all right, it's either this random kid that's just wandering around here. He kind of looks kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, he might be a mutant, but either way, mutant or not, I was just in that dream. I was like, you know what? I'm not letting my daughter die for this, when I could easily just throw this kid at this monster and have him eat him instead. I can't really defend that decision. Thankfully, it wasn't real. It was just a dream. But yeah, that was pretty savage. And by the way, that was not a lucid dream. That was one of those. That was one of those dreams where I'm almost like I was watching a movie about myself. Pretty much, it was really crazy. Let me see here. Oh my goodness. Is that really how much that is? Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, I feel like I need to
Give it back.
no, I mean I feel like I need to do something more for that, like to really earn that.
Oh well, everybody was wanting an encore, so.
Okay. You know what? Okay, wait. First of all, I don't sacrifice children, so do not pass that on. I saw that. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now, but shoot.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also I'm sure you guys know, and I always kick myself when I stumble over a word or something like that during a live reading. I don't think I'll ever get good enough to where that doesn't happen, but it did happen. So I apologize for that.
No.
And yeah, I know it happens, but I'm a stickler on myself above anyone else. I kind of hold myself to these ridiculous, impossible standards. All right, but I will, even though there was I think dream number 2, Seductress, was I mean, it was definitely in third place, but it got a couple of votes, so I got it right here pulled up, so I don't see why not just read that, and then we can wrap it up after that.
Sounds good.
All right. Anybody else thinking the same thing? Are you guys on board? Okay, hold on.
You gotta wait for the lag to catch up.
Yeah, it's like 8 seconds or something like that. I don't know. I tested it before.
I really liked your mutant story. That was awesome.
Thank you. It was. I mean, this is literally a dream that I saw this. I mean, I can think of it. I can still think of that boy, and there's just this weird look of ambivalence in his face as I just tossed him to this huge, disgusting monster.
You
And
know
the
what it
thing
reminds
started.
me of?
It's like he didn't care at all. What does it remind you
Dude,
of?
The Stand, when Roland sacrifices Jake. Or not
Uh
The Stand, The Gunslinger, sorry.
oh yeah. I think I read that part.
How far'd you get? Have you read those series?
I've read like three and a half of those books. Like the first three or
What's wrong
four.
with you?
I something happened. Something happened. I think I was in some kind of training for like 6 months at the time when I was reading it,
Yeah.
and I would read it every night. And then when that was done, I just kind of fell off the wagon, you know, that type of thing. But
Wow.
okay, so I am going to go ahead and read Seductress. This is a strange one, and it's a little bit. I didn't read it recently, so I don't remember completely what it was like. I know there was something really interesting in there, but we're about to find out together because I don't completely recall this. I only recall certain bits and pieces of it
Oh,
right
this is
now.
gonna be fun.
And raunchy is part of, yeah, that is a good word. If I see anything, I don't think there's anything that crazy, but
Whatever happened to PG-13?
this is
I can hear you smiling.
yeah. If you are less than, well, I mean, if you've never heard about sex before or what sex is, then
Go to bed.
please go to bed and make sure you get someone to tuck you in, and make sure your nightlight is on. But if you have heard about it, then you will not be traumatized.
There's
To
another one.
Teresa Jones, another story. I think I think we're going to be rich, Nix. I think we
Awesome.
are legitimately going to be able to, like, we're going to be able to do something fun, something cool. You guys are awesome. Another story, maybe.
I
If
need to
not,
look at
it's
the
all
sleeping
good.
bag. That would be
Love
cool.
you and Nix both. Yeah, maybe I can get a tent that doesn't rain when I'm using it in Florida, or like some dope AC system in my tent. I don't know. You guys are amazing. You guys are really murdering the game right now. Thank you guys very much. And thank you, Teresa Jones, for a second donation. It's crazy.
You guys
Yes.
are awesome.
Yeah, it's yeah. All right, you guys are definitely you're getting the story. You're getting the third dream, and I am going to read it with gusto, uncensored, uncut. I'm hyping it up, but it's really not that bad. It's not really anything crazy. It's not like yeah, it's not that crazy. But the idea is really interesting, and I think that you'll agree. So, without further ado, don't be disappointed if it's not as raunchy as you thought it was going to be, because I've been hyping it up. Without further ado, dream number 2, out of order, but in order of which it was requested. Seductress. I'm in a very large building. Judging by the familiar structure of corridors lined with windowed rooms, it seems to have been originally designed as a school. I know, however, that now it's being used for another purpose. I'm much older than normal. My hair and beard are peppered with gray. I walk the halls, studying the dreary brown, chipped paint of the interior. I see other pitiful-looking vagrants wandering aimlessly about, many talking to themselves or twitching violently. Everyone here is old and used up. The air smells of decay. This is a place for special people, people who happen to be in the possession of unique abilities. I've not discovered mine yet, but whoever put me here must have suspected it. I enter a sort of game room, set up in what is likely a school library, once upon a time anyway. There, I see a young-looking girl having sex with a man atop a pool table. There are nearly a dozen other men huddled around, watching them intently. I approach the bizarre scene with a mild curiosity. The man on the table seems to be in a trance, a blissful yet vacant look on his face as the girl straddled him. As I draw closer, I recognize her as someone I went to school with in my youth. Her name is Jade. She was quite the popular one back then, sought after by many a schoolboy. Her long, curly brown hair pulled back in a large puff, contrasted against her olive skin, making it easy to pick her out in any crowd. And now that I am old, she looks as though she hadn't aged a week from then, though decades have passed. She slyly turns her attention away from her suitor, spotting me among the spectators, staring raptly while she leaves the man on the table. Her eyes pierce all the way through to the back of my head. She opens her mouth and the words slither into the air, bridging the expanse between us. Come here. Somehow I have no choice but to walk toward her. Even as my mind questions my actions and tries to resist, my body proceeds to respond to her beckoning. I once had a wife who I loved dearly. I can feel where this lurid encounter is going, and I cannot bear to dishonor my wife's memory. As Jade commands, I lay down on the table. Her voluptuous thighs slide down against mine, taking position on either side of my waist. When I get a strange inkling in my mind, I find myself instinctively peering deeply into her thoughts. I see a vision of another young girl's face, yelling and cursing at me. Her image is distorted and her sound is muffled, as though my head were underwater, but the piercing torrents of her anger are unmistakable. I cringe as I endure the lashes of her muffled insults. I feel the shame she wants me to feel, and I begin to sense a hatred for her as well. I somehow realize that the angry girl's name is Sarah. I awaken from my journey into Jade's mind, and I know what I have to do. I close my eyes and think to myself, you don't want to do this. I am Sarah. You hate me. Jade's sensual movements freeze, her erotic desires quickly being replaced with disgust. She pushes me away, recoiling and descending from the pool table. She shrinks into a corner near a shelf of dusty old books, crying. I simply fade into the droves of eager men as they begin to advance, to offer themselves to her as consolation, each one salivating at the chance to be with her. As I slip into the shadows, I contemplate what I've done, and I realize what my power truly is. And that is the end of Seductress.
I think they liked it.
Another really unusual dream. It's, to me, what I took from that was that, you know, that was her ability was to be able to suggest things and make people do what she wanted them to do. And then mine was to kind of look into people's mind and take out one of their experiences and kind of make them experience that again. It was very, very unusual. I've never seen, in all the TV shows and movies and comic books that I've experienced, that's kind of a strange, specific ability. And I thought it was really interesting to be able to do that. When I was in her mind, it was almost like I was looking through. If you ever, when you go look at it like a glass on a shower where it's kind of the glass is textured and you can see the image of what's on the other side, but it's severely distorted. That's kind of the way I saw it. I saw the girl Sarah yelling at her, and this was like a little girl, like probably something that happened to Jade when she was a child. Maybe she had a bully or her older sister was really mean to her and she hated her, but I kind of made her feel that experience again and associated that with me so that she wouldn't desecrate me with her wiles.
That's
Yeah.
putting it nicely.
Yeah. That's we're back to PG-13 now, so I think that was pretty well PG-13. I didn't get into any
Yeah, it
crazy
wasn't too bad.
detail. Yeah. Cuz I mean I did turn it down. I did turn it down quite a bit cuz I saw what was going down in the dream. It was pretty crazy. But Mr. Black Pasta in the building. Holy moly. Greetings, my friend. Another next level. This dude, I don't know if you guys have seen Mr. Black Pasta, but he is the next level, the next evolution of YouTube narrations. It's like listening to a movie, legitimate. You are listening to a movie when you listen to a Mr. Black Pasta production. And he goes really hard in the paint, as the kids used to say, with that. So if you guys haven't seen him, give him a visit, and I guarantee you're gonna be happy you did. I gotta see that Philip DeFranco Hot Ones interview, by the way, Mr. Black Pasta. Thanks for reminding me. He says, I should never turn it down. I should cross that line. You see, I know I was, this was a long time ago. And even right now, I wouldn't describe in any more graphic detail than necessary for something like this, because that would just be, you guys will have to pay for that. That would be some real serious stuff. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I could do that. I think that it would be fun to do some kind of more explicit stuff, but not on. I don't think I'd do it on YouTube. I did have some pretty crazy dreams back in the day, but it's really not really a thing anymore, unfortunately. Good question, clever one. Turned down for what? I think that was a song not long ago. Rob Martinez, greetings, friend. Didn't see you there. And hold on, Minister EH, greetings. All right. Well, you know what, guys? We're about to wrap it up in just a few seconds. No pun intended, being the whole PG-13 thing, but I think I liked this. I have a bunch of dreams that I haven't read in years, and I even have some that I never even wrote into a script. So I just might do a story, like I don't know, maybe I'll do a long video with like 20 dreams in it, or because I have a whole bunch of them. Or I might just, on streams, talk about this stuff, in the future and come up, do something, cool like that where every so often I'll just say, hey, who wants to hear a couple of dreams? You know what I mean? I think that might be kind of fun.
I think that'd be a cool idea.
Yeah, because I got a bunch of them. Mr. Black is saying, do I have a Patreon you can support? I appreciate the sentiment, my brother. That's really nice of you. I tried to do Patreon, but I stopped doing it because I had one person come on like within the first couple of days of me doing that, and one person was going to pledge to it, which was amazing. But I don't, I'm so inconsistent with this stuff that I really, I'm not even sure how long, especially with the promotion that I have at work. Um, it's, it's something else. It's a lot more than I was expecting. So I really don't know how much time I'll be able to devote to YouTube in general. So I don't want people paying monthly for, you know, for something that they may or may not get monthly. So, you know, that's definitely maybe in the future if I my job levels out, but yeah. I'm not going to say too much about the promotion, but it yeah, it's really it's a lot. Let's see. Well, I appreciate the support, Mr. Black and SFGT man. I thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. And Ghost Mummy, I feel bad because it's so late or early, depending on how you and then you just like just made it rain like we're in the club all over my forehead, and you know that was very nice of you. But you know that's awesome. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. But oh yeah, thanks for the congrats on 16K subs. We're getting pretty close to this 17K number over here. And we're going to make it happen. I feel it. It's give me about, I think it's last time I saw it was like at 16,920 or something like that. And give me about another month and we'll be at 17,000. I get my subscribers at a trickle, and that's because I post so infrequently, but every one of you guys, especially the ones that come and hang out with me like this, it's you know it's that's awesome. That I appreciate you guys very much, and I love you, and you're awesome. Right, Nix?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Thank you for anyone congratulating me on the promotion. I appreciate that.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's
I think Dr. Blue wanted to know if you had a PayPal that they could donate to.
I I need to get on that because I did have one person send me something on PayPal before, and it actually showed like all my information when they did that. So I was like, that's I'm not going to give that out until I figure out how to not do that. So I got to figure that out.
I don't think mine does. I think it's specifically set up for my YouTube channel, and it doesn't like.
Yeah, that's what I need to do is make one specially for that, and you know, figure that all out. But until then, you know, just relax and just hang out with us. I don't require any donations, or you know, I don't ask for them. Anyone who donates, it's awesome and very much appreciated, and it's just out of the kindness of your heart. So, you know, and it really is an amazing thing. I never thought people from around the world would be tipping me for things that I do online, you know, and without me having to take my pants off. That's a plus. You know, for me personally, it's not my thing, so I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Isn't there a story behind that?
No.
Sure. Okay.
No, not. I mean,
No.
I keep a Post-it note over my webcam, so not even the FBI can do that to me. All right.
I'm glad I'm not the only like crazy one. I've got a little Band-Aid over mine.
I saw someone with a Band-Aid yesterday, one of my troops, and I was like, that is so adorable. And the crazy thing is with this one, the Band-Aid was like, it was black. So I was like, yeah, it's even tactical.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that's yeah, it was dope. Hmm. All right, so I'm gonna go through a couple little comments here. It looks like I'm glad you guys had some fun tonight. And oh yeah, PayPal does take less of a cut than YouTube. With YouTube,
By far.
they take 30% off the bat, and then taxes take so like another 20%. So really, I'm only getting like half of the super chats. It's not cute or fun to think about, but it is what it is. So maybe if I ever come up with a PayPal thing, I'll let you guys know, and that way, if you do want to donate or tip or anything like that, we can skip the middleman, and that would be awesome.
Yeah, I found that was probably like the best way to go for content creators because like with me, I completely got bumped out of any type of YouTube payment whatsoever. So it's like if I'm
Oh yeah, with the
yeah.
demonetize purge thing.
Yeah, it's like well, see with me, I made my subscriber mark, but I don't have the hours apparently. And every day that you don't have people watching your stuff, that number grows higher and higher. So it's
Hmm.
like I'm never going to make that mark anytime soon. So that's
Hmm.
and a lot of the smaller channels, if they do have a PayPal account, or a donation hooked up to their channel, that really is the only way they're getting anything from what they're doing.
Hmm.
So people should keep that in mind.
Yeah. Well, I know at some point you just with you particularly, Nix, you're a talented young lady, and it just takes the right thing, the right project, the right idea to get you up there and get you out there and start doing stuff. And I know, I mean, I haven't plugged your channel because people already know you here,
Yeah.
and you guys know if you're not subscribed to Nix, then I'm surprised because we hang out all the time, So I would think you would understand the beauty of being subscribed to Penny Dreadful Moment as I do and as I have been for a number of years now. And like I said, like with Stephanie Swan Quills, she was a real small channel. I mean, we're all pretty small, but relatively speaking, she was a lot smaller, and her numbers have doubled since she started a particular series on her channel. That we spoke about, and it's just so you need the right idea, it gets in front of the right group of people, and they will blow it up. And now she's in that area where, well, she was kind of before too, but she's growing a lot more rapidly. Same thing happened with me a long time ago. I started and it took a while, but once you get the right few people involved and things start clicking more and more, you get up there, and you get at least to the point, that lofty realm where you can get monetized again when from YouTube, which it's helpful, it's okay, it's nice, but it's not. You kind of have to rely on your subscribers and people that your actual fans a lot more. They're a lot more reliable than YouTube anyway. Because you never know
Absolutely.
what YouTube is going to do from one day to the next. So that's why we love you guys so freaking much. And you know what? Hold on a second. I'm realizing that
What?
my friend Raven, I haven't given her channel any love tonight, and she's been in here talking and hanging out and everything. Raven is an inspirational story for a Mr. X Dreams listener, a dreamer, if you will, a fan, or whatever you like to call yourself, because she was once a member of the Dreamers in just in the way that she was a listener. She was someone who would talk to me and, ask me questions and comment and stuff like that. And one day she said, "Hey, I'm thinking about making a channel." And now she has a channel and she's doing really good. She's making a lot of videos and making some improvements and honing her craft. So if you like, go ahead over there and visit Raven Lavina's channel and see what you think. I really enjoy a lot of the things that she does. She's really talented, and she has some really interesting and unique stories. And she also is a practicing witch, which is
Awesome.
which, get it, is something that's very unique about her. You don't see a lot of self-proclaimed witches making narration videos on their own channels. So that's pretty cool. I just realized she's like the one narrator that's been in the chat that I haven't spoken about. Yes, thank you. Someone got the pun. Sujata. Sujata or Suhata, which one is it? Please tell me so I'm not sounding like a silly person. And anything you'd like to say, Nix, before we get out of here?
Um, well, you can find me at Penny Dreadful Moment. I don't post a lot. I try to get 2 or 3 up a month. If I can do more, I will. I'm always in the comments. My community, I try to have it to mirror this one, where it's calm and kind and helpful. So no crap.
Mm-hmm.
um, you can follow me on Twitter at Dreadful Thought. And I love you guys.
So
That's pretty much it.
apparently you've been classified as a unicorn pixie,
Apparently.
according to the chat, which
Yeah.
is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I dig it. Okay. So, yes, Fire Neptune 98. Greetings, my friend. What religion are you? I'm not sure who you're talking to. But
Probably
anyway,
you.
yeah, probably me, but religion is one of the things that I do not talk about very much on this channel. It's religion and politics is pretty much that's where religion, politics, and certain aspects of my personal life are basically where I go. So no.
Wow.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for let me see who donated today. Dr. Blue, Jessica D, Teresa Jones, Nika or Nika,
Nika.
uh, Jessica D again, Ghost Mummy, and Teresa Jones again, times 2. Thank you guys so much, and everyone else in the chat that kept things lively and kept things moving. Thank you guys so much for being here, for hanging out with us, and I hope you guys have a great day, a great night, whatever part of the world you're in. Stay safe, keep your eyes open, be aware of what's going on around you, so that you can just make it home at the end of the day, every day. Make it home to your family, make it home to your dogs, your cats, your fish, whatever you got there, your creepy human-sized dolls, whatever you got in your house, and get back there safely. That's my wish for you today and every day. And I hope that next time I come online and come hang out and make a fool out of myself, and that you guys will be around and to hang out with us as well. All right, and make sure you follow me on Twitter if you want to know up to the moment when I'm going to be online and when I'm having plans to upload or to go live, things like that, because that's where I do that. You can follow me at Mr. X Dreams. But that said, love you guys. Thank you so much once again. And have a great night.
Good night, everybody.
I'm Mr. X, and may your nights be full of dreams. Love you guys.